What's up, you guys? It's your boy Zenegon back again for Podvideo Gamecast, episode 5. So, the original plan with episode 5 was gonna be, I think it was gonna be Pokemon, but I wanted to get a little bit more of a following, a little bit more of a viewer base, just because I feel like Pokemon's gonna be a very exciting episode, and I want to have I'm gonna have another guest on to talk about Pokemon because we can talk about so much with it. So we're gonna push it back. I'm not sure what episode, but it'll still be soon. So today's episode, I'm actually just gonna talk about a little bit of games that are coming out. We're looking forward to, maybe not looking forward to. TV shows that I've been watching, movies that are coming out, gonna come out, just came out, all that sort of stuff, and it'll give you guys a chance to get to know me a little better, my interest, and so y'all can understand a little bit about my sense of humor. Most of the stuff that I watch will be funny. So first, we're going to talk about the new games coming out, and I actually just did a little bit of research, and to see the games that were coming out, I didn't know about a couple of these games. The first one, so I watched Sword Art Online a little bit. I haven't like fully watched it all the way through, or like consistently. Like I didn't get super into it, and a lot of people get pissed that I didn't get super into it. But I try. I mean, I'm not giving up on it. I still plan to watch it, but I've started it. I'll just say that. But there is a new game coming out. It just shows 2020. It's a Sword Art Online game though, so I think that'll be pretty cool. I don't know if they have any other Sword Art Online games, but it's a very cool idea, and if it's anything like the show, I think it'd be cool. Obviously, not the living in the game, but you know what I mean. I mean that would be cool, but that level of technology and smoothness and stuff like that just doesn't exist yet. There's also, dude, I did not. There's another Paper Mario game coming out. Obviously for the Switch. It is like another open. It looks like it's another open world kind of like full on Super Mario game. Not open world like Skyrim where it's just like an enormous map that you walk around, but like Super Mario usually is. Like you can run around the levels and do stuff like that. I've never been super into the Paper Mario games. I've said it in a podcast before. I think that when I was growing up and I saw them, I thought they were like knockoff games. I thought they were wannabe Mario games, so I never even really gave them a chance. But this one looks pretty cool. I might consider actually playing it on my friend's Switch. Then that brings me to Marvel Avengers. So they're making an Avengers game. Now, I don't know if anybody's played any of the DC Universe games, but like, so for movies, Marvel and the Marvel Cinematic Universe has killed it. Marvel is obviously like, they're so good. They've put the Avengers and all that stuff and just molded it together like a beautiful, beautiful masterpiece. Well, with Marvel games, I have never had one. Well, yeah, I don't know that there's a Marvel game that I ever liked. I'm not huge on like the old school fighting games. I don't hate them, but I've never been any good at them, like the 2D where they fight side by side. So the Marvel versus Capcom games, like that's never been my game. And like I'm trying to think, there was like a Marvel. So I played DC Universe Online, and Marvel like made their own attempt at it, which was a little different, but it was just absolutely terrible. So I'm kind of excited for this new Marvel Avengers game because it's supposed to be like, I don't know the play style, but it's not like a cartoony animated style of a game. It's like an actual, like, they're put graphics and character development and that kind of thing into it. So that's pretty exciting. I hope Marvel can come through with that because, I mean, I don't know. I blame the games more so for Marvel not being my favorite, just because DC has always had my back with the games, like the Batman Arkham games. Those were all super fun. I love the play style, good storyline, good voice acting, everything. So hopefully Marvel can step it up. If Marvel gets their video games up, I might be able to change my decision on which I think is better. After that, we've got Tony Hawk Pro Skater. They're remaking number 1, number 2. Like, man, could you imagine? I mean, if you didn't play skater games growing up, then you totally could not fathom like understanding how awesome this is. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 were so much fun. I didn't play 1 I didn't play 1 as much, but I played 2 a lot. And it was like, it's hard to explain, but it was just so much fun. Like, you could just get points pretty much anywhere, doing tricks anywhere. And there were, like, side missions, kind of. Like, and you got to get the letters. You got to get a point level. There were ones where, like, if the time ran out, you can literally just go forever as long as you were still doing a trick. So, I mean, Tony Hawk was worth hours and hours of my gaming when I was younger, so I'm pretty excited for that. Plus, I mean, they haven't really come out with any decent skating games in a long time. I think Skate 3 was like the last one that I even like played all the way through and beat. And I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I liked Skate 3. It was because it was like the newest thing still that had skating, and it was difficult, but there was a lot to it, so I really enjoyed it. I'm excited for another skating game that I can get into. A lot of my friends and any viewers would be upset if I didn't list this game. I know people that are like shaking in their boots, so excited, ready for this one. Cyberpunk 2077. I literally don't know a single thing about this game. I know when it was announced, I think it was like E3, might have been 2 years. I don't know. It's been a while, but I remember watching the trailer that they like released with the big event and watching it all the way through and thinking maybe I could get into it, but I might not give a shit at all. So I don't know anything else about it. I know a lot of people go crazy for it. A lot of people are super excited for it, so maybe they've done more research or they know more about it, but I had to mention it. I mean, I'm not a hater, obviously. If you love a game, love that game. I respect it. Gamers love gamers, but, man, I don't know. I'm hoping, when it comes out, I'll buy it and then play it a lot. See, the problem with that... I'm trying to do a lot more on PC just because I'm trying to get a lot of my games in one place, but for a game that I don't know if I'm going to like it or not, I want to get it on a console just because I'm still more comfortable on a console. Like, I'm way better at games still on my consoles because I'm just, well, I mean, I suck at computer games, but it's just, I don't know. I feel like it's easier for me to learn and adapt on a console controller, but I mean, I don't know. Like shooters specifically, like shooters are so hard for me, which everyone will say, which is 100% true. On a computer, computer gamers have a huge advantage because of just how much easier it is to move and turn all the way around quicker and more precise. But I just suck. Bottom line. So next we got Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. Dude, like, okay. I absolutely loved the Lego Star Wars growing up. I had the trilogy at first on the GameCube. And then when I got my PS3, I got the saga, the complete saga, which had all 6 movies, episode 1 through 6. And then it had so much bonus content, cheats, characters. There were like 50 characters. It was so great. And I was so excited, and I played it hours and hours on end. All of my best friends I've played it with. My roommate that I live with now, we just now recently played it for the first time with him, but it's just so much fun. And I've never been a fan of any of the Lego movies, Lego games, Lego anything. except for Lego Star Wars, because it is the only one that, I guess it's because I'm such a huge Star Wars fan, and so I relate it to that. But the game, like all the other Star Wars games, I haven't really had that much fun in. Like I'll still buy them all and play them all and beat them all, but they haven't really filled the void. I don't know. Like, I mean, I guess what is the Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, and then Star Wars: The Force Unleashed 2. That Force Unleashed 2 was probably the last game that I absolutely loved. I know there's a new one out now. I haven't played it yet. I actually need. I think my roommate has it, so I'm gonna borrow it from him because I've been hearing a lot of wonderful things about it, and I'm pretty excited to play it through. But anyways, the Lego Star Wars. So this new one that's coming out, the Skywalker Saga, has the episodes 1 through 9. It's like everything, every movie that's come out now, period. And I'm so excited. I'm gonna be buying it. I don't care if it's another $60 game for a Lego game and people judge the crap out of me. It doesn't matter. I'm definitely gonna be buying it. I'm gonna. If I hope to God that game has trophies, because that is a game that I can platinum. Like I will platinum the crap out of that, because that is, those games are so good to me. Like I can just play them for so long. I feel like it's a very like grindy game. Like if you can grind out hours and hours on a game and show serious progress for everything, then that's something that I love to do. Next up, we've got another Assassin's Creed. I didn't even write down like what Assassin's Creed and whatever it is. I don't know. I'm over it, dude. I'm over it. How many freaking Assassin's Creed? There's like 100 of them, and they all have. I don't hate it. I don't hate the game. I love it. I love it. That's the problem. I love it, but it's so. There's just so many, and I feel like I don't play games the way I used to. So when one comes out, I want to buy it and then I want to play it for a while. But I don't binge one game. I'll go and play all my other games. And so with Assassin's Creed, it's like, dude, you're put the game in the moment you buy it, and it loads up the loading screen, and the moment you see the title, boom, another Assassin's Creed just got released. Like you don't have time to play a whole game, and so I feel like they're just coming left and right so fast. I still think my favorite one of all was Assassin's Creed 3. I absolutely love that one. I guess it's because I played it so much, and the controls and playstyle is a lot like the Batman Arkham control style. And Arkham City, I think, was the most one I've played, and the one I loved the most with the story and everything. And Assassin's Creed 3 was a lot like the play style of Batman Arkham City. So I guess that's why I related them so much, and I enjoyed them so much together. Next up, we've got The Last of Us 2. Last of Us 2 actually already came out, but so I never played the first one, but I've heard incredible things about it. I'm not gonna shit on the first one. I'm not gonna talk bad on that. But one of my favorite streamers, he streams League of Legends, and he played a full playthrough. He basically streamed the game from beginning to end, and I watched maybe 4 or 5 hours of it. I didn't watch everything, but I watched for the most part. And you know, when you're watching a stream, you can read the comments and see what everybody's saying about it, but then also, you know, the streamer's sitting there talking about it the whole time. And from what I picked up is, first of all, it lets you down big time with the storyline. Now, I'm not going to ruin it for anybody who's super excited or doesn't know anything about it and wants to go play it. So I'm not going to say any details. I just know that a lot of people were let down by the story, and the game itself was not good enough. It was a decent game, and that's what most people will tell you, unless they're just... I mean, the streamer right now, if you mention to him, he'll say, shut the fuck up about that stupid-ass game, I don't want to talk about it. So, he's not a fan of it after playing it all the way through. So, and it's just like, to think that in 2020 a game will come out, and you can't walk up and interact with everybody in the open world, like every single Dude, like even in Skyrim, if you walk up to most people, and Skyrim came out 1,000 years ago, if you walk up to anybody, typically they'll have a line, at least one line that they'll direct at you. But in that game, you could walk by like 30 people and they're all just like murmuring to each other and not saying anything to you. And I'm like, man, that's seems like it was lazy on developers' part. Like, I don't know. I just don't think that they put. I'm not gonna say they didn't put enough time because the game, it looks great. Like the visuals, the graphics, cinematics, all that stuff looks really good. The storyline is well thought out. It's just not what people wanted. But I think there are a lot of just small but important details that they just completely didn't even go across. So I will leave The Last of Us 2 at that. Next up, we've got Dude. All right. I know I read a game and then I just say that every time. But first of all, let me just say, as a kid growing up, I loved SpongeBob. People will judge me. People will talk crap about me, talk crap about SpongeBob, but I don't care. I loved it. So when we got AT&T Uverse was the first like cable recording system that we had, and I don't remember how old I was, but I was living with my grandmother at the time, and we had AT&T Uverse, and we could record like so much memory worth of stuff. Well, on the ATT Uverse, you can go to the guide, and next time you see SpongeBob, just hit record. Then you hit the record button again. Boom! Then you go to the settings and say record reruns. Now, that doesn't mean it'll record the same episode if it plays again, but it records episodes that are not new, meaning, like, not the first time it's aired, but it doesn't already have it saved on the DVR. Well, I went to my dad's for, I think, like 2 weeks. And then I went back to my grandmother's, and I saw that I had like 60 episodes of SpongeBob to watch. So I didn't have anything going on. I had my Game Boy, or maybe a DS at that point, and I had Pokemon. So I just sat and played Pokemon for hours and hours and hours while watching SpongeBob. So that I had to say that first before I talk about SpongeBob Battle of Bikini Bottom. It's a remake, or a remaster, rather. This new SpongeBob game, I love it. I don't know. I guess it's been a long time since I've played such a, like, I guess, kids game. But dude, it's not easy. It's not like kids easy. I mean, it's not hard, but I don't think a kid could do it. I love it. I've been playing it. We bought it a couple days ago, and me and my girlfriend have just been playing it a lot, and it's a lot of fun. I'm pretty excited to beat it and see the rest of the game. Another one of my favorite streamers, he was playing it in between league games on his stream, and that's what really made me want to get it. But he played it on PC, so I feel like I'm having more fun than he is on the console. But, some people just don't play console at all, so they don't know any different. So they'll disagree. Which, no harm, no foul. Whatever. Next game we're going to talk about very, very briefly. I cannot stress enough that I think this is the lamest waste of a game. And if anybody likes this game that watches me, I will probably lose half of the people that even care about the podcast are going to hate me now because I'm saying this. But Animal Crossing is not fun. It is not fun. It is not fun. It is not fun. I can't stress it enough. There is nothing fun about that game. It has a grindy feeling where you're grinding for shit, but I got news. There's like 30 other games that are better that have the same feeling with identical reward. It's just... It's not fun. I hate it. Wow. I said I hate it. And you know what? I meant it. And I didn't know that I hated any games. Hated a game. I didn't know I hated a game. That's crazy. But because of like how popular it is and how much like I love Rooster Teeth. I don't know if anybody knows what Rooster Teeth is. If you don't, it's ridiculous. You need to freaking just Google Rooster Teeth and it'll change your life. But Rooster Teeth is awesome. I love them. But like every now and then they're going to sit there and talk about that horrible game. And I'm just like, dude, this game is not fun. This game is not good. Let it go. Let it go. It came out like, I don't know, it's been months now. Okay? It's over. Let it go. It's like Minecraft. Nobody talks about Minecraft anymore. Okay? We've all played it. We've all put hours in Minecraft. There's still random videos that get put out, but it's over. Okay? Stop talking about Animal Crossing. Hate it. All right. Anyways, sorry about that. Back to my calm and collective self. We're not going to hate on Animal Crossing anymore. So the next game we're talking about is Pokemon Sword and Shield. Now, I can't really go into much detail because I haven't played it yet. I know that it's... so I was just... Me and my friends, like when we go on road trips or when we have just time to kill pretty much, we play 20 questions with Pokemon. So I really, dude, if you're a fan of Pokemon, you should definitely do it. It's a lot of fun. If you think you know Pokemon or have people that know Pokemon, it's a lot of fun. I don't know as much as he does, so it's a lot of me finding a Pokemon and then him asking questions to figure it out. So what you do is basically when one person finds a Pokemon, we go to the Pokedex online just so you have all the information right there, 100%. No guessing, you have it for sure. So you'll tell them what generation it is. Just because they can go through 8 questions to say, is it Gen 1, is it Gen 2, is it Gen 3, and that kind of ruins the game. But it still ends up kind of being the same kind of style because every what am I trying to say? Every generation has the same types. So that's what it ends up being. Once you figure out the Pokemon, first question is usually, does it evolve or does it have an evolution tree? And then if yes or no, is it the second, third? So that's where the first few questions go, is evolution. And then they usually ask, is it a dual type? Yes or no. And then you use your next however many questions to figure out the type. So you just got to go one by one. Is it fire? Is it grass? Is it, So we play that a lot. And he's been really stumped because he hasn't gone all the way through Sword and Shield quite yet. I know he's getting there, but he's not all the way through it yet. So he doesn't know all the Pokemon well enough yet. So anyways, we've got Pokemon Sword and Shield, and I know a lot of people have been playing it, and a lot of people have been having fun. If I get a Switch again, I'll probably play it just so that I don't miss out on a complete Pokemon game, which I've done before. I've really just... It was hard because I loved Generation 3 so much, and then I just went on. But anyways, we'll have a whole other Pokemon episode, so I won't dig too deep into that. We'll talk way more about that in another episode, hopefully with a guest, and we'll just go into great detail and all the things we love. So that's kind of it for games. As far as video games go, there's nothing... if there's anything else that I'm missing or that other people are excited for, please, comment on the video or send me a message, anything. Next up, I'm going to talk about movies. So I started to look up because I guess because of coronavirus and all that stuff, I've been thinking to myself, man, I haven't seen any movies, trailers or anything coming out. So I Googled it, and there's I literally Googled new movies coming out soon or something like that, and there were not even 20 movies on the list, and I was like, okay. So I went through all of them and none of them looked good. So I'm just kind of leaving that blank. There's no movies coming out soon that I'm like super excited for. If there's something that I'm missing or something that people think I might like, again, comment, send me a message, something, and I'll go over it again on another episode. I just, from what I saw, it doesn't look like there's anything there. A couple of movies that I have watched recently that I've enjoyed was there's a new one on Netflix. Actually, both of these that I'm going to talk about are on Netflix. I know one of them is a Netflix original. I don't know if the other one is. This one's got David Spade. It's called The Wrong Missy. It's got Lauren Lapkus, Nick Swartzen, and of course David Spade is the main character. Dude, it is so good. Like, it was funny. Like, it's been a long time since I've watched a movie and actually laughed out loud. Like, I do the same. Like, I don't know if anybody else does this, but like when you're reading memes on your phone or something, and you see something that's funny, even if you really truly think it's funny, the most you do is like exhale through your nose, like just like that. That's what I do. So that's the closest thing to laughing when I'm alone. But like this movie, I didn't watch alone, but I still laughed out loud. Like, it was so funny. It was such a good storyline, so much good content. It was a good movie. I really enjoyed it. And of course, I love David Spade and Nick Swartzen. Nick Swartzen, I could literally just listen to him have any regular, average, everyday conversation and laugh. The dude is so funny. The next one is called Eurovision Song Contest. Now, this one is like, it's not a serious, I guess there's serious parts, but it is by no means a serious movie. But I thought it was hilarious. It's another Will Ferrell. It's like cringy, because a lot of Will Ferrell humor is cringy. Like, he himself is just cringy. And so that's what this movie, the entire movie has this vibe. It's got Rachel McAdams. She's the co-star, and she's gorgeous anyway. But it was a good movie. I think it was. I think for what it is, it's gonna be underappreciated because it is it's like a quirky, funny movie. But it really has a solid storyline. Whether it's stupid funny or good funny or anything else, it has a solid storyline. Solid acting in it. I mean, what more can you ask for? Good story, good acting, and good jokes. And then cringy jokes, but they're still jokes. So I think both of those were really good movies, and I really enjoyed them. So if you haven't watched them and you're a fan of either Will Ferrell or David Spade, or even Nick Swartzen, go watch those two movies. There's a lot of good stuff. Now we're going to talk about TV shows. TV shows. So I know a lot of people have like their one show that they always go back to. I kind of have two. I kind of have like 50, but there's two that I say I go back to more than the others. And that is, I'll list these, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll list these 4 shows, okay, from the amount that I watch them. God, I can't do that because I don't know. Never mind. We're not going to do that because I don't know which one I watch more or less. I know that I can probably say now. I could probably say now that I've put more hours. No, it's still got to be Supernatural. Supernatural, I've probably put the most hours into. And I only say that because I've watched it maybe probably 13 or 14 times all the way through. Which when I started that, there were only... Not when I started the show. I started it at season... maybe season 3 or season 4. But when I started to, like, sit down and rewatch it, I watched season 4, and then when season 5 came out, I watched 5. Then when 6 came out, I watched 6. It might have been season 7 when I was, like... I didn't watch season 7 as soon as it came out. Because I don't know, I didn't know that it was out or whatever, and so I was like, it's been a while, I'm just gonna start over. So I started at season 1 again, watched it all the way through to season 7. Then every season since then, there are now, I believe we're on season 15 now. So every single season after season 7, I would just start the show over, watch it all the way through, then watch the newest season. Next season comes out, same thing. Start the season over, watch it all the way through, new season. So that's something that I would do. So Supernatural, and Supernatural, one season has about, I think it's 22 episodes, something like that, and each episode's an hour long. So you're looking at 22 hours a season. It's a lot of time. So I was gonna say right after this, Naruto. I've watched Naruto a lot. I love Naruto. I recently watched it again and tried to. I didn't I used a filler guide, but I didn't follow it completely because I still wanted to watch some filler. Um, so Naruto has so many hours of content, and I can say that. So I had this argument with somebody recently. I don't remember who I was talking to, but we were talking about how long Naruto is and the amount of hours in the show versus Supernatural. And they didn't think that Supernatural was as long. And I was like, you got to understand. Okay, there may be 800 episodes in Naruto, but after you take away the closing credits and the opening theme, there's at most 15 minutes of content, not even, probably 14 minutes of content for each episode. And for Supernatural, there's 22 episodes in a season. There's now 15 seasons. So, and you're looking at an hour an episode. So, let's see, 15, 22. You're looking at 330 hours worth of content. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of time for a show. Even if Naruto is 800 episodes, but it's only, let's see, it's only 15. I'll give it another minute per episode. That's only 200 hours. That's only 200 hours of content. That is nowhere near as much as Supernatural. So, and that's also saying that you watched every single filler episode, which 9 people out of 10 did not watch it. But, anyways, both great shows. I'm not going to go into super huge detail on what we talk about the shows because we're going to have episodes for all of these things. We're going to have an episode for Supernatural, an episode for Naruto. Up next is Family Guy. I watch Family Guy, so that's like every time I lay down to go to bed and I'm like tired, but I still want to watch something, it's Family Guy. It's just, I've seen it so many times. I know every word pretty much to every episode, and it's the reason I watch it like to go to bed to is because it's not something that I have to invest to watch it. Like, I don't have to really be paying a lot of attention to watch it, but so my brain can kind of shut off and I can fall asleep to it. I can't fall asleep pretty much to starting to be able to fall asleep to a couple other shows because I've seen them so much, but like I can't fall asleep to something that's new that I haven't seen before. Even if I absolutely think it's a terrible show or movie, my brain is still invested and interested, and so like I'll still be paying attention to figure out what's going on, and so that really doesn't work for me. I can't fall asleep to just anything. So Family Guy I've watched a lot. I love Family Guy. I guess I'll say my favorite characters for all the shows, but that's all I'll say. So in Supernatural, my favorite character, super cliche, main character, one of the main characters, Dean. Dean is without a doubt my favorite character. He is just a badass. So Dean, yeah, I'll go into more detail of why and all that stuff in the Supernatural episode, but that's it. Naruto, my favorite character is Kakashi. Dude. Okay, I'll leave it there. I don't want to ruin it because we'll talk about Naruto so much and why Kakashi is the greatest mofo ever. Family Guy. Now this one, people never understand why. And my favorite character is Carl. If you don't know who Carl is, he's the chubby guy who runs this little gas station convenience store. He's the same voice actor from the dude from Bob's Burgers. I don't watch that show. Just put that out there. I don't hate it. I just haven't watched it. So Carl's my favorite. I'll talk about that. I don't know if we'll have a full Family Guy episode, but we might have a adult cartoon episode maybe, and then I'll go into more detail about that. So the last thing or show that I want to talk about is it's starting to become one of my favorite shows it's definitely one of my favorite shows of all time, but it's getting close to becoming my favorite. And this might blow some of my friends' minds because I've said Supernatural and Family Guy like for so long, but The Office. If you don't like The Office, like I get it, okay? When I was younger and I saw The Office and tried to watch it, I just didn't think it was funny. And so I get it that people don't think it's funny, but there's also people that say they don't think it's funny and have not invested time into watching it, and it is so good. It is honestly so good. Like the content, Michael Scott, so good. I won't go into super huge detail because I haven't planned a full episode for The Office, but I probably will because I can talk about The Office for hours. I can't say my favorite character though, because my favorite character changes like every time I watch it. I watch it all the way through. I've probably watched it all the way through 9 or 10 times now, and I think the last time I watched it all the way through, I actually loved Dwight. The time before that, it was Kevin. So it just changes every time. Like I see different aspects of characters and their personalities and stuff, and so I just kind of change it every time of who I'm really enjoying. Not on purpose, but it's just like who I do enjoy the most. So yeah, that's a little bit about me, the shows that I watch, the things that I enjoy in my games, and what I'm looking forward to, all that kind of stuff. So I'm glad we made it to 5 episodes. I mean, it's no huge landmark, but I had to take a couple day break. I had a lot of stuff going on with family and stuff like that. So, but it's all right. We're moving on now. I should be back on track now to start recording and busting out some episodes. I'm gonna start just kind of giving a little bit of what is coming soon as far as episodes go. I won't give a specific order, but we will have Pokemon within the next 3 episodes. We will have a street racing game episode. We're going to talk about all the street racing games, and maybe a Call of Duty and Call of Duty Zombies episode, possibly. Okay, so definitely on street racing, definitely on Pokemon. Call of Duty is a maybe, or we'll leave it at that. There's a couple episodes that I still want to be a surprise because there are some people that are gonna see it and really, really enjoy it. So that's it for today's podcast, guys. Thanks for joining me again. I thank everyone so much who's given me any kind of support and followed me through this process, and I'm really excited to keep going and keep pushing through, giving more games, especially why the world is going so crazy right now. And don't forget, I'm on Spotify now. I'm on iTunes. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Instagram, Twitter. You can find me on all the social media at Zendagon. If you enjoyed it, loved it, hated it, worst podcast ever, best podcast ever, don't care at all, please like, dislike, subscribe, comment. Give me feedback, please. I want to know if you love it, if you hate it. If you want me to talk about some stuff, if you have questions about me, my life, anything, don't hesitate to ask. I will talk to everybody. Thank you guys for joining me again for episode 5, and I will be back soon. Thanks, guys.